Well, that was certainly something. We have beaten Southampton 3-1 at Old Trafford, and we wouldn't have if it wasn't for our messiah, AMAD Diallo. I'm running out of words to describe how good he is. He is, honestly, until about the 80th minute, he wasn't very good. He wasn't having a good game. He was just being a bit. He wasn't direct enough. He wasn't providing enough down the right. He was trying to play in two different roles. He was being swung from the number 10 in the wing back role. He was switching with Anthony. He wasn't having a good game. But players with immense quality and immense skill always find a way through, and that's exactly what AMAD Diallo did. A hat-trick in 12 minutes. United's first hat-trick in 4 years. I think it was since Ronaldo against Spurs or Norwich, one of the two. It's our first hat-trick since Ronaldo, and this man is not the second coming of Ronaldo, but oh my god, he is creating a legacy for himself because we are so shit. We are so bad. But we have AMAD, so who cares? AMAD will always get us out of a hole, and it was such a bad performance. We've got to talk about the game. We simply have to, because it was so bad. I didn't end up streaming this game. I did watch it on the couch, and I was in disbelief. There were points where I was just laughing, because I said it in my members only preview that this is the game where our players really... This is their proper mentality test, because we've had those big games against Liverpool and Arsenal now. This is the one. We're playing the worst team in the league. They've won one game this season. Well, they just beat Swansea, but one game in the league this season. They are absolutely terrible. I mean, you look at their 11. Ramsdale, Harwood-Bellis, Bednarek, Bree, Walker-Peters, Aribo, Ugachukwu, Sugawara, Fernandez, Sulemana, Dibbling. That is not a Premier League 11 in 2025. It simply is not. They've got some really good young talent there. Harwood-Bellis, Fernandez, Dibbling, and Sulemana. I want to give a shout out to. I thought they all played very, very well. But it's just not a Premier League standing 11. And we got absolutely play off the park in that first half. It could have been 2, 3, or 4. Tyler Dibbling probably should have put one away. Mateus Fernandez probably should have put one away. Sulemana had Lenny Yoro running suicides. It was such a difficult game for our midfield and back line. Kobbie Mainoo was terrible trying to deal with that midfield. Aribo, Ugachukwu, and Fernandez were really overwhelming him. Even their wing-backs, Sugawara and Walker-Peters, looked really good, and they absolutely got a hold of AMAD and Mazraoui, Mazraoui, by the way, my word, he was dreadful. We'll get into our players in a sec. We'll start off with Andre Onana. What a performance. He absolutely saved us. He is the reason why it wasn't 4 or 5, because that midfield and back 3 was subpar at best. Martinez didn't play very well. Yoro had a very difficult task. Yoro's 19. He was against a very, very quick player. He's still learning. We know his quality. Matthias de Ligt just looked at... He made a few big blocks towards the end of the game in the second half, but he just looked a bit slow. I'm not sure what it was. It was a weird performance from de Ligt. UCATT, I thought, was decent. I thought the own goal was unlucky. I thought UCATT was actually quite decent. But it was the right decision to take him off, because we couldn't get a hold of the midfield. Kobbie Mainoo was doing his best Casper the Ghost impersonation, because where on earth was he? He was so invisible. And you compare that to when we completely switched up the midfield. We moved Bruno into the pivot. We brought Anthony on to go into the 10 or rotate with AMAD. And we brought Toby Collier on for Kobbie Mainoo. And that is when the game... Well, no, we brought Kobbie Mainoo on for UCATT. And that is really when the game changed, because Kobbie Mainoo found it so hard to play that number 8 role in the first half. And Toby Collier comes on and he covered every single blade of grass. He was absolutely exceptional. And it may have looked like a very simple job Collier did, but he didn't put a foot wrong. He was everywhere. He was an absolute general. And I think the last 2 games are a sign that Toby Collier is ready. He is ready for this level, because this isn't just against Southampton. He did this against Arsenal. He is ready. When he got chucked in earlier this season against Liverpool at Old Trafford, he was very, very average, but I think he's adapted. He's with a new manager. He's in a new system. And even when he played against Barnsley, he wasn't very good, but there's just something about Collier now where he's just seemed to click, and he's looking very, very good. I think he's in for a few starts in the next few weeks. But yeah, I thought he was so important in revitalising our game. Toby Collier, he just got a hold on that midfield with Bruno in that pivot. Moving on to the front three, I thought Bruno had a very unnoticed game, but again, just decent. He played a few exotic passes, which, as always, are just very, very frustrating. But I thought in the second half, he kept control of the ball better. And he's getting better at that over the past few games. We're starting to see the Bruno we know and love. Not necessarily at his best every single game, but he's not throwing the ball away 20 times a game. You know, he's getting better at these habits that have just been instilled in him in the past 2 or 3 years. Garnacho, people are gonna look at him for some poor finishing, some poor decision making. I thought he provided a really good spark. I certainly haven't been a massive fan of Garnacho's performances this season, but I thought he provided a really important spark. That cross to Anthony was fantastic that he really should have put away. Yeah, I thought Garnacho played well, provided something different. He's definitely an option, because when Dallo comes back, I think Garnacho's probably straight back out the side, but I thought he provided something different, and he's definitely valuable. He's definitely got the talent, and yeah, he looked very happy after the win. We've got to talk about Rasmus Højlund, because I absolutely stressed in my match review of the Arsenal game and my preview of this game that Xerxes has to start. I was stressing it. Højlund started. Terrible. Yet again. Just didn't provide anything. He doesn't drop deep to provide any link up. And in that case, you've got to be a physical, strong presence up top, getting the ball and taking defenders on. And he was just nowhere to be seen. It wasn't even a graveyard shift. Like, he was in positions to get the ball. It wasn't a good game from Rasmus Højlund. And this is where we move on to Joshua Xerxes, who completely changed the game. And last 3 games, my God, he's looked good. If he doesn't start against Braga on Sunday, I don't know what to say. Xerxes is looking like he's coming into himself. So silky, very good first touch. He's taking the ball through midfield and dishing it off to a wider player. I mean, the main example of that was the goal to put us in the lead, the goal to put us 2-1 up. Xerxes took it, spun through midfield, and then AMAD took it the rest of the way and scored. Unlucky not to be credited with an assist on that goal. I thought Xerxes was absolutely sensational. Harry Maguire, no real comment on him. Christian Eriksen, I've got to give a shout out to him. I think he's actually going to end up in the Player of the Year votes. Maybe get 1 or 2, because he absolutely got us that guy. I mean, when he came on, I sort of didn't mind it, because he's that sort of guy that doesn't have the legs anymore to play a full 90 minutes of Premier League football, but he's just got that moment of brilliance in him, and we saw that today from Eriksen. Certainly not a player for our future, but really, really happy with his contributions today. I know Anthony provided us something, and I still think he's got a role to play. I think he can get better as a right wing back. I don't think all hope is lost, believe it or not, for Anthony at Manchester United. And yeah, that is basically the game. That first half was terrible. Southampton killed us. They had all the shots on target, all the shots. Even possession wasn't as high as we needed it to be. There was a point in the second half where we were just knocking it about. We had it in our own half for about 3 minutes and just gave it away. We did nothing with it. So some passages of play today was so frustrating, and we need to clean up on that. But yeah, apart from that, I thought everything was okay. Yeah, I'm happy with the win. I'm not happy with the performance. We've got to show something different against Braga on Sunday. Otherwise, we're just lucky we played Southampton today and we had an AMAD hat-trick to save us, because that's not going to be every game, obviously. Righto, now it's time to take a look at the Player of the Year votes. When I was thinking about these at half-time, I was stressing, to be honest. Did not know who to give them to. It was basically Andre Onana was going to get 5, and the rest were, well, not getting anything. This is what I've said on. AMAD Diallo, 5 votes, obviously. There is just no debate in my mind. No debate in anyone's mind. He is the Messiah. Andre Onana, 4 votes. Saved us a lot in the first half with some big stops. That double stop with Dibbling and Mateus Fernandes was huge. Xerxes changed the game for us through the middle of the park. I thought he was absolutely fantastic and simply has to start against Brighton. Toby Collier gets his first ever votes. I thought he gets the 2. Covered so much grass. recontrolled the midfield, 21 years of age, so he's developing a little bit later than some of our other academy products, but God, he's turning into a good one. And Christian Eriksen won for that assist at the end, just a little bit of brilliance from our Dane. The leaderboard, no surprises, AMAD extends his lead at the top. He now leads by 12 on Nusay Mazraoui, who, by the way, poor game today. He needs to improve. I mean, he's a consistent 7 or 8 out of 10 sort of guy, and today wasn't that. But AMAD, 12 votes on top. He is running away with it. 60 votes already. Mazraoui is 48. Manuel UCATT is 41. Onana back up into 4th with 37. And Matthias de Ligt drops back down to 5th with 34. Thank you for watching. A much needed 3 points, and I will see you all for the members only preview. If you haven't already become a member, please do. You can watch all the members only previews for every single United game, and also the reaction will be out Monday for the Brighton game. Thank you all for watching. 3 points is 3 points. Can't even speak anymore. And Amad Diallo is my hero.